This week I wanted to do some work on the car. There's a couple things on that to-do list I haven't got to yet that I had planned to do, but weather's not cooperating, so I don't feel like putting the heater on because apparently next week it's going to start getting warmer and spring's going to arrive, all that good stuff. It's March break right now. So I'm going to end up being homebound here. My big event for the day is a haircut. I'm not taking you along for that. It'll be a short video. So plan is, I have some old videos from way back when I was getting started. They're kind of funny. I thought I'd do a little video montage. Let's start with that. Keep me busy, out of the cold. Okay, first up on the videos is the first one I posted, which is a bunch of pictures. It was shortly after we got it out of storage, and I can't remember what I took them with, an old BlackBerry phone or something like that. I probably took them with, and just did that random shot, threw that thing up on the internet, and just to kind of keep me from going crazy during the winter, basically, while it was in storage. So I remember posting that up, and I look at it now, and it's like, oh my god, that's crap quality. But the thing is I think it's got the most views of anything of my videos. It's like 50,000, 55,000 views or something like that. Next video I think I did was this test drive in 2010, in the spring of 2010. It's the first time we took it out. Kind of had it out before that, but first time we took the cameras with us. And I think my wife was hanging on to the cameras. And, you know, did a quick walk around just to kind of show the car, all that good stuff, and it's a pretty rough video though. Even I think some of it we shot with a handheld palm top or something like that at times, but anyways, you gotta start somewhere, right? So the next video was, you can see it's a crazy hold the phone the wrong way shot, and that was actually, I think I took it to work, and that was the first time I drove it in to work. It was back the first year when we got the car, we had full insurance on it, so I could do whatever I wanted to with it and drive it to work and everything else. So I did that a few times. So that was the first time into work. And then following that, so I think it was the same day or that same trip, I went and visited friends and family on the way home, sort of thing, and had the car. And that's when my dad took that shot right here, where it's the opening shot that I used for the intro to the series, and you can see the quality. That's what really caught my eye. My dad's a photographer as a hobby. He worked at Countach, and so he's always been into cameras. So when he sent me this video, that was done with a DSLR camera that he has, and that really caught my eye and the quality. And then that's when I started trying to invest in better cameras and better ways to record this stuff. Another one I posted up, I'm not sure, I think it's unlisted, but anyways, it was a quick video we did. This has always been the talk. You know, one thing that's great about this car is that it's got the looks. It certainly doesn't have the sound of the V12. Now, at 540 I had, one of the things that got me when I bought it was the sound of it. And of course I opened up the exhaust, took out the resonators and all that stuff, and it gave this sound that you can hear. And I love that sound. I think that's as close, because I've heard the real one. I heard, you know, the you'll see in that why we bought the car, that early video, you'll see when I saw that car when I was 16, I actually heard it as well. We were actually, my brother and I were playing tennis the next day, and we heard the car in the distance, and I knew right away it had to be it because it's such a unique sound. So I still remember the sound of that thing. And of course, if you YouTube nowadays, you can see them. But the 540 was awful close to it with that sound, that crispness of a 12. And it had a V8 in it, and the 4.2 or 4.4, I can't remember now, liter V8 that was in the Beamer came pretty close. So you can see in the next video I started doing some more videos. I think it's the following year or so, but started shooting videos using the better cameras. More of a repeat of the same thing of the previous year, but just with better cameras that we had. The next bit is the reverse. You know, my wife started driving the car some more, so when I was in the chase car, I guess you could say, I started videoing as best I could. So this next video was kind of fun because you know, I was videotaping her driving, and then guys would always say, "Oh, why didn't you get on it?" You know, it's like, hey, you know, it's like, it's my wife driving this time. Not that she won't get on it; she'll get on it. But the thing is she was just getting used to the car. I think it was the first time I think she actually drove to one of the shows, and that was her first try with it, sort of thing. So when you get these things, they can be a little nerve-wracking at first, and it's, you know, I'm 7 years into ownership of this car. I'm just starting to get comfortable with it. So this next video is it's a dyno of the Transaxle. So what happened is the previous owner had starved the Transaxle of oil, and when I bought it, we kind of saw signs of it, and I kind of followed up on it before I bought the car, and kind of got an idea that something was up with it. And that was part of the reason I think he was selling it, because he was nervous about having to put that in there. He wasn't mechanical, so you know, anything that failed on this car, he had to pay for it, which it can be really painful with these cars, because you basically got to go with a blank check when you go to a mechanic with these things. But so anyways, took 2 years to get that Transaxle rebuilt. You know, these videos, there's not much in between. All I was doing is repairing the cars. Lots of repair videos at that time. I was doing little things to the car to fix it up. And then during that time, when I got, you know, this Transaxle back, you can see they're testing it, these Griffin gearboxes, just making sure that they had it on a dyno, just to make sure it was good before they sent it to me. And then the following videos were more or less getting it back on the road. So I put the Transaxle back in, clutch wasn't quite right, so that's what this video is like, trying it out in the driveway, and things didn't go so well, so I had to pull it back out, transmission back out, get some new clutch work done, and put it back in again, try it some more. Lots of fun. But anyways, I was learning. And then finally, once I did have some confidence in what I'd done, and I started taking out these test drives around the area, just up and down the roads and around the area. So didn't go too far in case something wasn't quite right. I didn't have far to get it back. But I never had any hiccups with it. Once I got comfortable with it here in the driveway, then it was good to go, and I'd started doing loops. And, you know, it's similar when I first bought the car. You know, I'd go out 10-kilometer loop, you know, 15-kilometer loop, 20-kilometer loop. So get more comfortable with the car.
And 1500 RPM. Yeah, it's good. Get you a bunch of people remember you. I think so.
Yeah, I remember videoing once we did get it back on the road, and went to our Johnny B's, is one of our favorite local places to take the car. It's always a good show, Saturday nights sort of thing. So I remember taking it there, and so we videoed that.
Hey!
And we were off to, I think it was Baden or something like that, we went to. It was the second trip, so it was like big deal, because finally know that, you know, I got the car, you know, back to where it was, and everything's good, sort of thing. So it was a good feeling going to those two shows, and I knew everything was back to normal after those trips. So, you know, videotaping, and still learning a lot. You know, I started getting cameras and that, so you know, I'm still learning what works, and shaking stuff and all that crap, and trying to figure out what mounts work and what don't work. And you know, mic setups and all that I hadn't even got into yet. So.
Hey? I know. It's been a while.
So some of these mounts, so what I tried, you know, mounting these different areas of the car got a little rough. You know, the mics would pick up things that you weren't expecting them to pick up, or amplifying things you weren't expecting them to amplify, and rattles in the mounts that you didn't think were going to be a big deal are all of a sudden huge when you get a mic right next to it. So it was a lot of a learning curve there, and I'm still learning a lot of that stuff, which makes it tough because you get back from shooting all that stuff. It's not like you want to do a retake with this thing. You want to get it done, you know. So a lot of the stuff just you never made it. But I'm still learning that stuff. But you know, the videos, you know, we got into with the car feeling a lot more comfortable with it. So that's why I could put mounts up and just go for a drive, not to worry too much about it, figure it out later. And then even got into the night driving, right? Coming back late from the shows, and you know, that was something in the first couple of years of the car I'd never wanted to do. Just didn't feel comfortable with it. You know, even around here, we're driving back roads a lot of time, and last thing I want is to run into a deer with this. So we're always, you know, kind of nervous about that. But anyways, it was fun doing it and testing the car to make sure it was good, and it all went well. So that pretty much wraps up where we ended up with all those videos before I started the series. So we'll carry on doing that, and I got my freezing cold out of me today, and this will give me something to edit and play with, so kill some time, because you know, all I got to do today is get a haircut. See ya. Ain't it pretty? No, had enough. It says it's 40 degrees or 5 degrees in the garage here. Snowing though, so it can't be that warm. It's colder out here. Here you go, a little before shot of the Camaro rims. Not too bad. That's the wash process done. I think anybody's gonna notice. Usually it all dries up before anybody figures this out. I just use the old car wash, clean them up and then dry them off. Now just to wax them and tire dressing, and we're good to go. All the polished up, and some tire dressing on the. These are my new ones. I was looking at these, and they're wearing down pretty good. They still got a bit of tread left. I only get about 1.5 years out of rear tires. Get 2 years out of the fronts. Wonder how that happens, eh? A mess. It should be all dried up before anybody discovers. We'll figure it out. There's last year. Don't forget, if you want to see the car, I'll be in Carlisle, Pennsylvania at the Import Auto Fest there. That's May 18th, I believe it is. So make sure you check the description below. There's more information there about it. Hope to see you there. He stranded me. Went away for a week, left her out in the cold at the office, came back to won't run. Crank, but no start. Start digging into it. Got it. Turned out to be a bad ground and a weak battery. Luckily I have a spare battery. And ground just needed cleaning up over here. That side was a little loose. And then I did find a fault on the ground going to the engine over here to the fuse box. So let's see if that keeps her running again. She's not getting warm, so it's not good. I drove it for an hour into work, which is the longest run it's had in quite some time. And can you hear that down there? Sounds like a monster truck now. Got an exhaust leak. That'll be fixed before the next emission test. Something else to do. And the source of our exhaust leak. We got our wheel well cover off. You can see a better look at it here now. So, yeah, I would say it's an issue. Gonna be fun getting it off. See, I can get a grinder in there. All right, we're back together. Just did a quick test fire, and it sounds great. Back to what it was. So that's a big savings. That was a split flange connector there. You can see how it bolts the flange together, and so you can put it over top where the old one rusted out. And that's good because that replacement Y pipe goes over to the cat on the other side, and that's about I think it was a $1,200 expense. I did this for 36 bucks. That works. Look at that. That's the frame and body mount there. That's where it's all rusted out over the year. It used to be metal going right across there. You just see how it's just all eating away at it. Anyways, frame's in great shape. Just the bodies. Welcome to Canada. Insult. Okay, if you're wondering why I keep looking down, I got my GoPro here so I can see what that's doing and if it's recording. And then down here in a chair, I actually got all the videos that I'm talking about because I can't remember what the heck I shot. I'm getting good at breaking cars here lately now. Rainy day. Prove it. See? There's rain out there. Wiper motors. Seems to have failed. At least I think it's that way. Anyway, pull off the cowling. I thought it. My motor's cacked. 2013. Barely even used it. That's more like it. It's too frickin' cold out here. Why did you see my breath? Nope. Not that cold. Wimp.